This week, the New York published a story that says super agent Ari Emanuel is trying to dump the Miss Universe organization for $20 million, and we're going to talk about it today. Welcome to the channel. My name is Dani Walker. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing, hitting that notifications bell, or even supporting the channel with that super thanks button. I would greatly appreciate it. This news is huge in pageantry because Miss Universe is considered one of the top 4 international pageants in the world. By the way, if you're a pageant contestant preparing for a competition, check out my free pageant prep course that's linked in the description. That is just for you. The New York Post reported this week, and I am going to read to you a few excerpts from this article, and of course I'll link it in the description below as well. But here's the gist of it. Emanuel, the inspiration for fictional Hollywood agent Ari Gold in HBO's hit show Entourage, remember that show? It's been a little while, has been shopping around his Miss Universe business for the last 6 months for $20 million with no luck, says a knowledgeable source. The hard-charging CEO of Endeavor, which owns the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or UFC, huge fan, and the William Morris Talent Agency snapped up the beauty pageant organization from Donald Trump in 2015 ahead of his presidential bid. They took over the pageant in the middle of the season, so they had a very small window to plan Miss USA 2015. That was their first event when Olivia Jordan was crowned. Although the sale price was not disclosed, financial statements related to Trump's political campaign said the organization was worth between $5 and $25 million and had $3.4 million in revenue. But that's a really big window there. The person with Miss Universe's financial situation told the Post the organization, which includes Miss USA and Miss Teen USA events, books $2 million in losses annually while generating revenue between $7 million and $9 million. The thing to note here, if you might be a little bit confused because we've seen this transition from the IMG era to the Crystal Stewart era of Miss USA and Miss Teen USA, is that Crystal Stewart does not own Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. She is the director of the organization. So she's like the head and she's planning these events, but she doesn't actually have full ownership of this. So that's the important distinction here. Emanuel has been trying to woo foreign investors based in Asia and South America, which makes so much sense because pageants are huge there. A person familiar with Endeavor's thinking said in order to offload the asset, the price of Miss Universe may be lowered a little, but not much. And honestly, it looks like it'll have to be because it's not selling. The person familiar with the situation said a buyer is interested but declined to provide details, so we really don't know much. The insider said Miss Universe has been profitable on average since Endeavor bought it, if the pandemic year is stripped out. The organization was forced to cancel events in 2020. That makes a lot of sense, and I feel like a lot of businesses felt the same effects. Endeavor, which went public in 2021, has been looking to prune some lackluster businesses as it hunts for more acquisitions and grows lucrative money-making divisions like MMA League, UFC, insiders said. Makes a lot of sense. Last year, Miss Universe's pageant, won by India's Harnaz Sandhu, drew 2.7 million viewers on Fox, putting the network in last place among the big 4 broadcasts. The rating marked a 30% dive from the 3.8 million viewers the pageant drew in 2019, just 2 years earlier. In 2017, the pageant reeled in 5.2 million total viewers. This year's pageant is slated for December and will be televised by Fox. Friends, we need to support Miss Universe. We need to get our friends watching, host some watch parties. Let's do it. The drop in viewership also comes as critics question whether beauty pageants are dated and hinder the cause of gender equality. The Miss America pageant cut its swimsuit competition in 2018 amid waning ratings that most recently dropped 3.6 million in 2020. Endeavor, which reps the likes of Matt Damon, Oprah Winfrey, and Christian Bale through its WME talent agency, tried and failed to go public in 2019 as investors eschewed Endeavor's hodgepodge of assets and heavy debt load. That's a lot to talk about. That's a lot to unpack. Here's the thing. I want to give you some initial thoughts looking back, and I want to look forward and things that can be done and ideas, and please feel free to share your thoughts about this in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this as well. So I personally was very excited when I heard that Endeavor was going to buy out Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, Miss Universe. Because, as you can see, they represent talents like Christian Bale, Oprah Winfrey, Matt Damon, all of these A-list celebrities. Endeavor's doing a great job with those celebrities. I thought, and I think many pageant fans thought, this is a great move because these people know how to manage talent. And now we're gonna see this new generation of Miss USAs, Miss Universes come back full force, and we're gonna see them living out their dreams and having incredible years of reign. That is not what happened. That is not what happened at all. In fact, a lot of what has happened with the organization has made little to no sense to pageant fans. They had a lot of changes in terms of production that didn't actually enhance the show. They had these changes, I think, just to make things new and fresh, thinking it would work, while completely disregarding pageant audiences. And here's the thing, they've alienated a lot of pageant audiences, and now the viewers that you had are not interested in watching. And I think that a lot of pageant systems, including Miss America, have tried to go after new audiences. But the problem with that is that these new audiences that they are pursuing are not audiences that are at all interested in pageantry. So these pageants have gotten to this point where they're trying to appease everyone. And there's something in business and marketing and sales that says, if everyone is your customer, then no one is your customer. If you're trying to appeal too much, you're not really appealing to anyone. And I think that is exactly what has happened to modern day pageantry within the United States specifically. And I think that it's what American pageants are getting really, 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 really wrong. They're trying to appeal to everyone, thinking that's how we're going to get more viewers, when really they should have just amped up all the glam and all of the things that pageant viewers loved about pageantry for decades. You would have kept the support of those people, and if you would have added new elements to it that would have made it fun and highly entertaining, and we see examples of this in so many reality shows. There's so many ways that you can be creative with the production, make it fun, get sponsors involved, get viewers involved with fan votes. You can have special segments and broadcasts where you put up a paywall and you're making even more money because people are really interested in following these women's journeys. There are so many things that you can do that can be done that they are not doing in the US. These things are happening internationally. This is something that we hear a lot in American pageantry, that pageants are losing popularity because, as you've seen even in this article, because of gender equality. And what amazes me in this age of where we're encouraging women to embrace who they are, embrace their sexuality, their gender, all of these things where we're like really, really supportive of women, I cannot understand why people who are for all of those things would be anti-pageant because a woman is walking on stage in a swimsuit. A woman who made that choice to put herself in this competition. A woman who wants to do this. So I don't understand why we can't support all women and why there are limitations to that support of women, and those limitations stop at pageantry. It's like the moment that we talk about supporting women in pageantry nowadays, you get pushback. And the thing about pageantry is, if you know about this industry, if you're actually involved in it, you will understand and you will know and you will get the benefits of pageantry for young women. Because either you've experienced it firsthand, if you had this transformation of your own, or you've witnessed that in someone else that you love and that you're proud of them, and you see that there are so many benefits to this. And so that is one of the things that I just have not understood, and that's my little rant. I'm like, look, if you're gonna be supporting women and encouraging them to go out and break boundaries and smash glass ceilings and all of those great things, then there's no reason we can't support women in pageantry. There's no reason, there's no excuse. It's not like these women are all being forced to do this. They're doing it because they want to do it, and we should be supporting them. And taking things back to the viewership and the dropping ratings, I just want you to look at this as a comparison. 7.3 million viewers tuned in for Miss France 2020, reported the Paris Beacon News. That is one country. 7.3 million people viewed in. And now you're getting less than 5 million for Miss Universe, less than 4 million viewers for Miss Universe. There is still popularity in pageants, but the reason that these pageants have better viewership is the quality of production and what they're offering to the contestants. They truly treat Miss France like a queen in that country. She goes to the Cannes Film Festival. She goes to so many events. She's working with top designers, top photographers all over the place. They are providing those resources for her. And guess what? Other young women want those opportunities. So they're watching Miss France every year. They're trying to figure out how to win. The moment that they qualify and they can compete, they're like, I better watch and do my homework so I can be the next Miss France. And people are tuning in even if they can't compete because the show is so entertaining. It's one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen. And that's just one example. Just one country. So we are missing the mark in the US. I'm honestly disappointed that IMG Endeavor missed that mark when they have so many resources in the US. We have Hollywood here, friends. We have Hollywood. Why aren't our Miss USAs and our Miss Universes invited to all the award shows, all the red carpets, all of these things that IMG and Endeavor has access to because they're producing events and their other talent is on the red carpet. That's the direction that they should have went in. Or they can be paying attention to other Asian countries, for example, like Miss Vietnam that has this entire show series leading up to their national pageant where you get to watch the contestants go through challenges. And guess what? You can charge people to watch those shows just as you would for any other streaming service. There are ways to make money. There are ways to bring in more sponsors, to get more audiences involved, excited, because frankly, it is exciting, but people don't know that it's exciting. Pageant contestants get to do so many cool things, but you don't know about it because they don't show you. And that's one of the reasons that I initially created my channel and why I started sharing my journey, because I said people don't know what's going on. People don't know what this experience is like and how unique it is and how exciting it is and how it challenges you and pushes you and opens doors for you. And that's why I created the Road to Miss Montana USA, the Road to Miss USA series on the channel. I wanted to share that with people. Of course, though, in that process, I had to build my own audience. And I always get confused because I wonder why in the world do these organizations who have these resources, who have the money, who have the audience, why aren't they lending that audience to their title holders, to the contestants that are competing? Why? The organizations are not rallying around these contestants, and neither are pageant fans. We've lost pageant fans, and I think that the reason we're not picking up new ones is because there's so much that you could look at online. There's so many ways that your attention is being pulled, social media being just one of them. And it's hard to get somebody's attention. But these organizations are so big, they do have these resources, but they are not using them to get eyes on their organization, to get eyes on their contestant. They should be doing things all year. We should not just hear about Miss USA or Miss Universe during press week for 1 week out of the year. We should hear about her all the time. She should become a face that everybody knows because she's popping up on news segments. You're seeing her on red carpets. She's getting featured in magazines. That's what we should be doing for these title holders. If you did that, everything else would follow. You would get more sponsors, you would get more viewers, you would make more money. And that is exactly what people in other countries are doing. They have shifted. They've realized it's not enough to just host our pageant once a year and everybody is gonna tune in. No, now you have to work for your viewers. And the way that other countries are overcoming the loss of viewership is because they are meeting viewers where they're at. They are showing up on social media platforms. They are holding public events, and they're inviting pageant fans, of course, who will know about the event, who want to show up. But they are garnering so much public attention because they are putting their contestants in public places. They're putting them in malls, they're putting them in venues. And when they show up there and when people are like, wow, this is such a fun thing, this is such a cool show, we want to learn more about it, they're picking up fans along the way. It's working. It's working in other countries. It's working in France. They have such high viewership because they put quality into their production. Anyways, I have so many thoughts about this. If I could, I would love to consult for them before they decide to sell this organization. So anyways, thank you for tuning into this episode. This was my little rant about this news. I think it's potentially exciting. I really hope that somebody else does pick up this organization and does actually transform it, because I feel like there was so much expectation for what IMG could do for the organization, and I feel like people and pageant fans and contestants have been let down. They've been disappointed. Time and time again, they've brought things to the organization that everybody's like, we didn't ask for that. Like, for example, the Continental breakup. I know some people really liked it For me, it didn't really do much for the show. It did not enhance the entertainment value of the show. And what we saw happen time and time again is, yes, we saw more diversity in countries for a top 20, but as soon as you narrowed down to a top 10, we narrowed right back down to all the big Sash Factor countries. And it's no coincidence that that happened. It's because those countries are investing time into their contestants' training. It's not a conspiracy. It's not that these women are greatly favored. It's that their organizations have put in the work behind them to prepare them to go to that next level. So it doesn't matter who's in that top 20. Those ladies that are coming from these mainly Sash Factor countries, you're going to keep seeing them advance. We saw that when they did the continental breakups for semifinals in Universe, and then they finally got rid of that. Those types of changes, I'm like, that didn't do anything. What was the point of that? That didn't bring in new viewers. If anything, it got your existing viewers upset. There's a lot of changes that they can make that would be profitable, that I would love to see them make. They need to just take a page out of the playbook of other international pageants and pay attention to what's working over there, because it does work. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Thank you, though, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And of course, I'll be covering Miss Universe, Miss USA. As always, we're here on this channel to support the contestants. Let's encourage these young women. Let's help them achieve their dreams. Let's give them those eyes. Let's share these episodes. Let's really encourage them in a way that a lot of pageant organizations aren't. So those are my thoughts. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.